All right. So I know that there's a lot of conversation around the Andrew Callaghan situation, and I think Hassan just weighed in on it. Ethan kind of weighed in on it. I believe this is an excerpt from like a members only stream that somebody cut up. Normally, I wouldn't look at somebody's like I think it's a members only stream, but considering that this is like a kind of more serious situation, I'm going to take a look at it. It's a clip from somebody else post. Um, you know, given the circumstances. Somebody sent me an audio file about this yesterday, which I was like, I guess I was happy because it seemed like Ethan and Hassan were kind of staying away from this one. And they're friends with Andrew. I know Hassan is, so I'm assuming he's friends with Hassan, so I'm assuming he's friends with Andrew. But then maybe they're also giving him time, which it seems like they're giving him time to come out with his own statement. My understanding is Andrew might be in a psych ward, which doesn't excuse anything. If it is true, we should wait and see what he has to say. There does seem to be more and more mounting evidence. And from what I've heard from Ethan and Hassan, or rather Ethan, it seems like the allegations may be very credible. What they seem credible. There's not enough information to go one way or the other, but they seem to be somewhat confirmed. Again, we got to wait for Andrew to come and speak. So let's kind of see what Ethan's perspective on this is.
I believe both girls. So, but when the second girl came out, I was like, okay, I need to talk to Andrew about this. I mean, listen, he is my friend. We do have a relationship. I'm not just going to go to the internet and start talking about all this without even reaching out to him. Like, you know what I mean? It's just...
I get it. I mean, he's his friend, so he's giving him a courtesy that other people who aren't Andrew's friends... he's extending a courtesy to other people like myself. Obviously, I'm not Andrew's friend, so there's nothing, to talk to him about it. Because really the main thing is trying to get Andrew to operate. I mean, I guess with some level of accountability, if it is true, give him an opportunity to speak his own, his perspective and potentially admit what he did and didn't do is wrong and why he didn't do is wrong. Staying away from it completely, I think, is something that would have been wrong of them to do, because then it's like, oh, you're his friend. But there's a difference between staying away from it versus giving him a little time to come forward himself. So I can understand that,
I needed to hear from him what happened.
That's fair.
So I talked to him, and he was, look, he's in a really bad mental headspace. Obviously, he was like soaring on top of the world, and now he's like canceled. But I wanted the details. I said, yo, what's up with these allegations? You got to tell me what's going on. I talked on the phone with him. The first girl, he told me, I'm just going to tell you what he said. By the way, I was hoping to wait to talk about this till he put out a statement. He told me that he was going to put out a statement today at 12. I think he's working on a statement. I guess it's going to come out today.
Well, this was yesterday. Did he ever get the statement? Does anybody know? Because like so far, from the time of recording this, did he give a statement?
I can find out. Maybe I'll text him and find out when. So I'm sure he wants people to read his statement. So if I could read it on stream, that'd be good.
Oh, no statement?
I wanted to make sure he was like in a safe place, that he wasn't, why are you guys saying stop? Don't say anything. I'm just telling you what happened, okay? I'm just being transparent. Oh, you don't want me to say what he told me? The fuck? Why?
Yeah, why?
I don't understand your guys's... I don't understand the logic, but a lot of y'all say don't say anything. So... No, it's not private. He listen, guys, it was a private conversation, but what he told me, he sent me stuff that he wanted me to convey. Okay? You know what I mean? This isn't, I'm not like saying stuff that was said to me in private, if that's what you guys are afraid of. Like, he was sending me stuff to show to Hassan, text messages and stuff and stories, like, because he's saying that he wants people to hear his side of stuff, at least if people are talking about it. And so he told me this stuff with the understanding that I might share it.
Okay.
People are saying, why are you conveying things from him? I'm just literally saying what he said, but if you don't want me to talk about it, then I won't. I don't understand that necessarily.
Well, I'm curious for sure. I mean, this is obviously a very sensitive topic, so.
I mean, I'm reading chat. I'm trying to get some logic here. No, he did not say they're lying, guys. Let me at least fucking explain before you'll jump down my throat. Like, hello, let me talk.
Okay.
It's so hard to talk about this stuff, which I get. The people get really... There's high emotions and stuff when you talk about this stuff, so it's
yeah, it's a very difficult thing to talk about, especially if you're expected to talk about it, which is like one of the things that gets like frustrating sometimes. Like at the end of the day, there's nothing that could be said. You're just never going to get it right for everybody. You have to be very careful of like I said in my first video, the goal is to hear people out, like alleged victims out, see what they have to say. And then also, hear, but then also operate in a way that's like innocent until proven guilty. There's a lot of allegations in there mounting, absolutely. But like, again, we've seen some people try to deplatform people with allegations. I'm not even saying that that's what's happened here. You just got to be careful about these things. It's tough, and you're never going to say the right thing. People are going to be upset regardless of what you say when it comes to this. So the best thing to do is just be sensitive, direct, and do your best.
hard for everybody. I'm not, I totally understand that people in the chat have strong opinions about this, right? Like that I get. And me too. That's what this whole is just very hard to talk about.
True.
But I'm just want to be transparent. I mean, he's going to put out a statement that is more detailed and obviously the way that he wants to say stuff, but I'm not betraying his trust or anything. I'm sure he would be fine to know. Look, chat, yeah, I mean, listen, it's okay. I understand why y'all are getting emotional. I'm not even mad. I'm just trying to understand why you guys said. Planet Kaylee said, sadness, I don't know what to think. I've been essayed and worse. I do feel men can redeem themselves and is responsible to be a great interest to women like me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hardest, that's the most difficult conversation to have right now, right? Is can men, or can a person who commits like a sexual assault, can they redeem themselves? That's a tough conversation, because there are very few things in the world that are worse than taking somebody's autonomy away through the means of sexual assault. It's so hard, because being too forgiving to this person invalidates the people he may have hurt. But then we also have a lot of conversations on this channel about how, like, men a lot of times, unfortunately, in society are taught to be overly persistent, and it's like, where do we find the balance? And it's like, I feel like it's a case-by-case basis. It's tough, but we can't. There's like a fine line. What? No, this isn't about Andrew Tate. This is about Andrew Callaghan. What? Sorry. What do you guys think this is about? What? It's just a tough conversation, man. It's tough, and I feel like a lot of people on the internet aren't open to actually having that conversation, because not a lot of people on the internet care, I guess. I mean, it's just tough. We have to see the specifics and what he says about it and this and that. But even if he's fully reformed and redeemed now and doesn't engage in any bad behaviors, like, what does that mean for those girls, who potentially had something taken away from them that's very, something very precious for taken away from them? It's a hard thing. So
I appreciate that comment, Planet Kaylee. Chat needs to calm down. Ethan's doing his best. Tough situation. It's all good. Say whatever you think needs to be said on your part. Ignore the chat. You're doing great, sweetie.
Oh, nice.
My feelings as a fan of all parties. We don't want you to defend him and help him if he wants to misconstrue the party. Listen, I'm not doing that.
Ethan's getting sunlight by his own. You got to just kind of say what you were going to say, brother, and move on.
It's not my intention. I said straight out the gate. Let me just say it before everyone makes assumptions and shit. Let me just say.
I mean, nobody's stopping you. I mean, but I mean, this problem happens with me too. I get sunlight too.
Hey, what I was going to say. So, first, I just wanted to make sure that he told me he was like at a psych ward. He was not doing well and he was having panic attacks and stuff.
Which, by the way, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm a little apprehensive about believing that. And it may be true. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but, and this could just be, I'm trying to pretext this. This could just be me being very skeptical. But a lot of times I hear this line a lot of like, I'm going to get help when somebody does something like really wrong. We heard like EDP say it. We heard like Gemini officials say it. We see everybody say I'm going to get help when they do something wrong. And then they like never do. And sometimes it feels like people just pretend that they're going to get help or go to a therapist or something to work on themselves when they really don't. So part of me is a little skeptical that he even went to a psych ward. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just being honest with you. It's perfectly possible, but
And I, first of all, wanted to make sure that he was safe, that he wasn't going to hurt himself, that he was with people that cared about him. Obviously, I don't want him to die. I'm hoping none of y'all think he should die for this, do you?
I will say one thing, not to laugh, but it's interesting how level-headed Ethan is here when it comes to Andrew Callaghan with mounting evidence and credibility that he committed multiple sexual offenses. But when it comes to Logan Paul giving his pig away to somebody else who happened to abandon it, that's a psychopathic that's like a psychopath that could be a serial killer because he's killing small animals because he electrocuted a rat. But I feel like, I know it's just a meme topic, but it's good to be like generally level-headed because it's interesting that the energy here is more compassionate to Andrew Callaghan, which I understand. I'm not trying to shit on Ethan for it. But then in the case of Logan Paul, it's like, and I know Logan Paul's a bad guy for scamming people with crypto. Frankly, I think crypto scammers are probably better people than people who've committed sexual assaults. I'm just saying. So, just saying.
And so I did confirm that he's doing okay. So that was a relief to me. Again, I'm not defending him, and I believe those victims 100% since they came out with their videos. So what was I saying? What I was going to say before y'all jumping to conclusions is that
sure, the fresh and fit one too, where that's a whole other scenario though. That's a whole other thing.
He confirmed what they're saying is true. Okay? Y'all fucking, you know what I mean? He confirmed that he knew the girls and that he had encounters with them. So right out the bat, you know what I mean? He was...
Well, just so far, based on what he said, he confirms that he had encounters with them. That doesn't necessarily mean he's confirming he did it. I'm just letting you know. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm not saying he did do it. All I'm saying is that just means that he had encounters with them, which I don't think would ever be in dispute. I think more of the dispute because he clearly talked to them. They were they were going back and forth in some of their messages. Like both of them, they were flirting back and forth in both of the messages, which doesn't mean that he couldn't have sexually assaulted somebody just because they're going back and forth. I'm not saying that those, but it's very clear that they had some kind of engagement. It's about the specific details in the engagement.
Pretty open, and basically that's what I wanted to hear, right? Like he confirmed that this stuff basically happened.
Maybe we'd have to see more.
What do you mean he's gaslighting me? He literally told me it happened. Like, what the fuck? Guys, listen. Oh no, the abusers isn't mentally well. Listen, I know it's not about him being the victim, but I don't want him to die. Okay, like I have a obligation as a human being to another human being to make sure that he's not like suicidal, and I'm just gonna not check on him. Like, you guys got to pick anyway. What the fuck? I gotta stop reading the chat. Y'all get in my head. Stun locking me. Yeah, don't look at chat. Fuck. Now I know what it's like to be stun locked.
There you go.
But anyway, it's not about him, right?
Is this like a new concept for Ethan? Is getting stun locked? I think he's probably just very nervous because this is a very difficult topic to operate on.
So, sorry, I gotta stop reading chat. The one time I read chat, I gotta stop reading it. All right, let me get my...
Papa Gut, will there be a day where sexual assault isn't content? Not gonna lie, I'm sort of tired of this. I agree with you, sir. I do. It's not like the most fun position for me to be in. Like, I don't necessarily enjoy talking about these topics, and every time that it comes up, like it just frustrates me more and more. But like, people have an expectation of me to look into it and talk about it. And like, that's pretty much where I'm at. And I figure it's better to have I would consider a more level-headed perspective on these topics. At least I think so. That tries to be like, You know, I try to do the right thing when it comes to it, than some fucking idiot sensationalizing it. I'm not saying Ethan's doing that. I'm just saying that some people, this turns into like actual content where it's like, whoa, and whoa, this happened and who cares? And it's just like vomiting words where I'm trying to do the right thing, you know? But I get your frustration, man. I do. These topics, you know, they burn me out pretty quickly. So I get it. I get where you're coming from.
My fucking thoughts together on this. So, I mean, my main takeaway is that he confirmed he knew the girls, right?
Yeah. That part seems to be true. Yeah, sure. Okay.
And basically that's all I'll say. I mean, I talked to him a lot. I wanted to hear from him what happened. And that's all I'll say is that he confirmed he knew them. So like that's not defending him at all. I mean, if anything, it's corroborating what they said.
Okay.
So I basically am just waiting. I really just waiting for a statement to kind of, there's not even really a conclusion. I mean, it sucks. You know what the fuck? I mean, what the fuck can I say? It sucks. It's very upsetting.
Yeah.
It's weird because like I'm both a fan of him and a friend of him. So it's just, it really sucks. What can I say? I mean, y'all fucking in the same boat as me. That's it. That's all I got to say about it. I mean, I don't have any other fucking thing to say about it this time.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Some of y'all want me to like.
A lot of people were saying that like.
Don't say anything.
I don't know. People were misrepresenting that from what I saw. So I'm happy I looked at it. You know, if we're live right now, so if something goes on later, that's like somebody comes forward, or Andrew Callaghan himself comes forward and gives his perspective, like, please let me know here or in like the Discord or something. I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.